Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren with Alma Apothecary here, and today we are making soap and hopefully lots of it. Like all my products, my soap is handmade, it's all natural. I use the cold process method, so it is real soap made the old-fashioned way. So if you want to see how that's done, stick around with me here. Should be interesting today because I am working on two new designs, one completely new recipe, and then one is kind of a glow up of a recipe I've been making for a long time. So truthfully, not sure exactly how it's gonna go, but it should be interesting and entertaining either way. Safety first. Here I am getting my mask on and getting gloved up because breathing in lye fumes is no fun. Don't ask me how I know. So I'm trying to measure out everything as precisely as possible, getting down to the exact gram. Now measuring out my oils, I use olive oil, coconut, avocado, castor oil, and shea butter in my recipe. A lot of times I'll do this either the day before or the morning of and get everything batched out so we're ready to go. So I've got everything set up here to go ahead and make my soap. Got my lye water. I've got all of my oils for my soap melted down so that they're in liquid form. And working with temperatures is actually pretty precise in soap making. I'm just getting the last of these bits of shea butter to melt down in the solution here. And that's because I like to soap at about 100 degrees. This is really important because we're making all natural soap. And one of the big selling points about my all natural soap versus soap found in a big box store is that I only use essential oils. And more importantly, I don't use any of those chemical fragrances. Many of them have properties that are not good for you. They have phthalates, which are endocrine disruptors, all sorts of nasties in there. But you guys might know, if you're familiar with essential oils, that heating them to a really, really high temperature can damage and start to denature them, and they'll lose some of their fragrance. So that's why we soap, one of the reasons that we soap at this low temperature. I also soap at a low temperature because it gives you a little bit more time before the soap hardens so you can work with it and create designs. They call that coming to trace when a soap hardens, and the hotter your oils are when you start to soap, the quicker that comes to trace. So just a little background information there. And before I add the lye to start the saponification process, I am first adding white kale and clay and mixing that into all of the oils. This is a really wonderful ingredient to add to soap for a couple of reasons. One reason is it makes a creamy kind of buttery lather. It really helps lather the soap. You can even use some of my soaps as like a shave bar. They're so creamy. So that's the one reason. And then it also does help the essential oil scents stick in the soap. It will bind with the clay. And there's a lot of other good skin benefits, including like pulling out impurities. So I'm gonna hit this with my stick blender and make sure the clay is fully incorporated and mixed in before I add my lye water. Already got my shades down because next up we're gonna be adding the lye solution, which is what causes the saponification. Always be really careful when using lye. Be sure to cover your hands, your arms, and your eyes. And then here we go. This is a double batch of soap. I'm making 2 loaves here. So it is going to take longer to hand blend, probably 4 to 5 minutes. But what you'll notice is it starts getting thicker, like coming to trace. First it'll be like a pancake batter, and then it'll be more like a cake batter. So once it's just started to come to trace, we call that light trace, when it's just started to thicken and you can kind of see a trail when you put your stirrer in here. That's when I'm gonna go ahead and add my beautiful lavender essential oils. So I learned the hard way. I measure out my essential oils by weight, and then I place them way off to the side. Essential oils are some of the most expensive ingredients that I use in any of my products, and I have spilt them before during a process. And while it does make your house smell lovely, it's a pretty expensive mistake. So that's why I do that. And I've added just a little bit of cornstarch to these oils just to also help with making the fragrance stick. So I'm gonna add this in and then mix it really, really good to make sure that it's fully incorporated. I beat the bowl on the counter several times to get the air bubbles out. And this batter is thickening nicely. The essential oils are well incorporated, so I am going to start the next phase where I'm doing the design and pouring these. So today I'm making 2 loaves. I've got my loaf molds here. And I am gonna do a drop swirl technique. We're gonna be coloring the soap with purple Moroccan clay. We're gonna be coloring the soap with purple Brazilian clay, not Moroccan clay. And it's this gorgeous, like deep grayish purple. And I'm so excited, but I want the bottom layer to be a pure like white ivory, which is the color of the batter now. And you can already see the effects of saponification. We went from oils that were like this golden hue, and now they're like this beautiful white because of the chemical reaction with the lye. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some into the bottom of these molds about a quarter of the way up. All right, we're moving fast now because once saponification starts, it waits for no one. I'm dividing the rest of this batter, and I'm going to add the purple clay just to half of it.
Oh my gosh, what's happening here? You can see how fast it came to trace. It's like a big glob, but not to worry, it all turned out great. The next soap that I'm working on is a Christmas themed soap. I'm hoping that it'll smell like an evergreen wreath. I'm thinking about calling it O Tannenbaum. You see here that I use actually cocoa powder, Hershey's cocoa powder, or any brand to get this deep, beautiful brown color. For the dark green top of the bar, I use a blend of chlorella algae and activated charcoal to get a deep dark green. And you can see that this batch is pouring much more nicely and it's not at such a thick trace yet.
All right, guys, here are my poured soaps. You can see that the ones on the right, the evergreen wreath, is still wet, while the ones on the left, my lavender shea butter, they were made first, so they've had some time. So these are gonna sit like this overnight, and then tomorrow morning, I'm so excited to share the cut with you to show you what they really look like once they're cut. Good morning, everybody. It's the next morning, and I'm pretty excited because we have our 4 loaves of soap to cut, and I usually do it first thing in the morning because I feel like it's one of the most exciting, most gratifying parts of the process. So I'm gonna get into these, get them unmolded, and then we'll get them cut, and I'll show you guys the cut. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. right, no more waiting. So excited to show you guys a cut on these. I'm gonna do the lavender shea butter bar first. It's part of my normal collection, so I'm just too excited. I wanna do it. So we're cutting off the end. Let's cut the first bar. Oh, wow. I really like it. See the marbling and the top part with the purple Brazilian clay came out a gorgeous color. I know the lighting in here isn't the best, guys, so I'll include some pictures as well when I get these up to the studio. I like it. I'm pretty happy with that. Wow, the lavender smells so good. And now for the new Christmas scented log. This is an essential oil blend of eucalyptus, cedarwood, and peppermint. So it smells like a Christmas tree or a Christmas wreath, and I'm trying to figure out what to call it. I might call it evergreen forest, or I might call it Tannenbaum. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Might also pose the question in my Facebook group. Here we go. Beautiful. Love the two-tone simplicity. Makes me think of a good pair of saddle Oxford shoes. And there you have it. Cocoa on the bottom, algae on the top. It makes this bar green and brown. I really like it. Oh, it smells good, y'all. A little bit of the cocoa comes through too, which only helps with the holiday vibe. All right, here we go. Beautiful. Love it. And there's the last bar. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I do hope it shows you all the love and work that goes in behind the scenes of all these products, not to mention all natural. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel for more updates, especially going in this holiday season. There's gonna be a lot to share, and just appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and have an amazing day. Always keep your eye covering on for the duration, because at any point this batter, before it is saponified, can get in your eye and it will be really painful.